What if the only thing standing between you and the life you've always wanted was discipline? Not talent, not luck, not even motivation, just the ability to stay consistent, push through resistance, and show up even when you don't feel like it. We admire those who seem to have unshakable self-control, elite athletes, top performers, relentless entrepreneurs. But what if their discipline isn't something they were born with? What if it's something they built? Most people start strong. They set goals with excitement, make plans with confidence, and believe this time they'll follow through. But then life happens. They skip one workout. They procrastinate on one task. They let one bad decision slide, thinking it won't make a difference. Then one turns into two. Two turns into 10. And before they know it, they're right back where they started. Frustrated, disappointed, and convinced they just don't have the willpower to succeed. The problem isn't that they're lazy. The problem isn't even that they lack discipline. It's that they're missing the 3 keys that turn discipline from a struggle into a way of life. These keys separate those who stay stuck from those who rise. They are the foundation of self-mastery. The secret to breaking free from excuses, and the reason some people achieve the impossible while others give up at the first sign of difficulty. In this book, you'll discover what those 3 keys are, how they work, and how to use them to take control of your habits, your focus, and your future. If you've ever felt like discipline was out of your reach, if you've ever wondered why you can't seem to stay consistent, or if you're tired of starting over again and again, this book will change everything. Discipline isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you create. And once you unlock these 3 keys, we'll never struggle to stay disciplined again. Are you ready to take control? Subscribe and turn on post notifications to never miss books like this one. Chapter 1. The illusion of willpower. Most people believe that discipline is about willpower, the ability to force yourself to do something, even when you don't want to. They think that if they could just be stronger, more determined, or more motivated, they'd finally stick to their goals. But here's the truth. Willpower is an illusion. It's unreliable, fleeting, and weak in the face of real pressure. If you've ever started something with enthusiasm only to watch your commitment fade, you know this firsthand. Willpower burns hot, but it burns out fast. Think about the last time you made a resolution. Maybe you swore you'd wake up early, exercise consistently, or finally break a bad habit. At first, it felt easy. You were inspired. You had a vision of success, and for a few days, or even weeks, you stuck with it. But then, something happened. Maybe you had a stressful day, lost sleep, or got overwhelmed by work. That ironclad resolve started to crack. You told yourself, just this once, I'll skip it. But once turned into twice. Twice turned into a habit. Before you knew it, you were back where you started, frustrated and wondering why you couldn't just try harder. The problem wasn't you. It was your strategy. You relied on willpower instead of discipline. Willpower is the short burst of energy that gets you moving. Discipline is the system that keeps you going. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle isn't that one group has more willpower. It's that they know how to operate when willpower runs out. They don't rely on fleeting motivation. They don't wake up every day wondering if they'll feel like doing the work. Instead, they've built a structure that makes discipline automatic. So if willpower, the answer lies in the 3 keys of discipline. 3 powerful forces that, when mastered, eliminate the need for willpower altogether. These keys are the reason elite athletes train when they don't feel like it, why top performers stay consistent under pressure, and how some people turn discipline into a way of life while others stay trapped in cycles of failure. In the next chapter, we'll explore the real reason people struggle to stay consistent. Because before you can master discipline, you must understand what's been holding you back all along. Chapter 2. The cost of inconsistency. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you pay a price. It may not seem like much in the moment, skipping one workout, hitting snooze one more time, putting off that task until tomorrow. But discipline isn't destroyed in a single moment of weakness. It's eroded, piece by piece, through every small compromise. At first, it's easy to justify. One day off won't hurt. I'll get back on track tomorrow. And maybe you do. But the real damage isn't in the action itself. It's in the message it sends to your mind. Every time you break a commitment, you reinforce the idea that your word to yourself doesn't matter. That discipline is optional. That quitting is always an easy escape. The most dangerous thing about inconsistency isn't just that it slows your progress. It rewires your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who follows through. Instead, you become someone who tries, but never quite succeeds. Someone who starts things, but never finishes. Someone who lets excuses win. Think about the most disciplined people you know. The ones who wake up early, stick to their goals, and refuse to quit. It's not because they have some superhuman ability to resist temptation. It's because they've built an identity around consistency. They don't debate whether they'll show up. They just do. Missing a day isn't an option because they see themselves as someone who never misses. But here's the hard truth. Inconsistency is a habit. Just like discipline. The more you allow yourself to slip, the easier it becomes to keep slipping. The more you negotiate with your excuses, the stronger they get. Every time you give in, you're training your brain to expect failure. So how do you stop the cycle? The first step is awareness. Recognizing that every small decision either strengthens or weakens your discipline. The second step is commitment. Understanding that discipline isn't about occasional bursts of effort, but about consistency over time. And the third step, that's where the 3 keys of discipline come in. These keys don't just help you stay on track. They eliminate the need for motivation altogether. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the real reason people keep falling into the same patterns of failure, and how you can break free once and for all. Chapter 3. Breaking the cycle of failure. Why do some people stay disciplined no matter what, while others start strong but always fall back into old habits? It's not because they're lazy. It's not because they lack motivation. It's because they're trapped in a cycle of failure, one they don't even realize they're repeating. The cycle always begins the same way, a surge of motivation. You feel inspired to make a change. You set a goal, create a plan, and tell yourself discipline starts to feel like a burden. You miss one day, then another. The guilt creeps in. You start to wonder if you even have what it takes. And eventually, you quit, promising yourself you'll try again later. Later comes. The cycle repeats, and every time you go through it, your confidence takes another hit. So how do you break free? First, you must understand the trap. Most people think discipline is about willpower, but it's really about systems. The problem isn't you. It's the way you've been approaching discipline in the first place. You've been relying on motivation to get started and willpower to keep going, when what you actually need is a structure that makes quitting impossible. That's where the 3 keys of discipline come in. These keys are what separate those who succeed from those who stay stuck. They don't just make discipline easier, they make it inevitable. Once you understand them, you'll no longer be at the mercy of motivation, bad habits, or old excuses. In the next chapter, we'll reveal these 3 keys, what they are, why they work, and how they will change everything about the way you approach discipline. Chapter 4. The 3 keys, unveil discipline, is not a battle of willpower. It's a game of control. Those who master discipline don't rely on how they feel each day. They've structured their lives in a way that eliminates the need for motivation. And at the core of that structure are 3 essential keys. These keys are what separate the disciplined from the inconsistent, the successful from the frustrated. The first key, control over the mind. Everything starts in your mind. Your thoughts, beliefs, and self-talk determine whether you stick to your commitments or give in to excuses. Those who struggle with discipline often lose the battle before they even take action, because they let doubt, fear, and self-sabotage take over. The first key to discipline is mastering your mindset. You must reshape the way you think about yourself, your goals, and your ability to follow through. The second key, control over actions. Once your mind is in check, the next step is controlling your action. This isn't just about deciding to be disciplined. It's about creating habits, routines, and triggers that force you into action whether you feel like it or not. The most disciplined people don't leave their decisions up to chance. They eliminate friction, automate behaviors, and make taking action the path of least resistance. The third key, control over the environment, your surroundings, shape your success more than you realize. The people you interact with, the temptations around you, the structure of your daily routine. All of it either supports your discipline or destroys it. If you're constantly battling distractions, bad influences, or environments that make it easy to fail, you're setting yourself up for struggle. The final key to discipline is engineering your environment in a way that makes success inevitable. These 3 keys, control over your mind, your actions, and your environment, are the foundation of unstoppable discipline. They remove the need for willpower. They make consistency effortless. And once you master them, you'll never struggle to stay on track again. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the first key, your mind, and uncover why your thoughts are either your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. Updated chapter list, now 20 chapters, part 1. The foundation of discipline, the illusion of willpower, why motivation fades, and what truly sustains discipline. The cost of inconsistency, How small compromises create massive setbacks. Breaking a cycle of failure. The hidden reasons why people struggle to stay disciplined. The 3 keys unveiled. An introduction to the core principles of lasting discipline. Part 2. The first key, control over the mind, rewiring your mindset. How to think like a disciplined person. Identity and self-discipline. Becoming the type of person who naturally follows through. The war against instant gratification. Training your brain to prioritize long-term success. The psychology of self-control. Why some people resist temptation while others give in. Part 3. The second key, control over actions. The power of rituals and routines. Automating discipline so it happens effortlessly. The momentum effect. How small wins create unstoppable progress. Building bulletproof habits. The science of making good habits stick. The role of accountability. How to hold yourself to a higher standard. Part 4. The third key. Control over the environment, the hidden triggers around you. How your surroundings shape your discipline. Eliminating the option to quit. Creating an environment where failure is not an option. Mastering external influences. How to shield yourself from distractions and negativity. The discipline ecosystem. Designing a lifestyle that reinforces success. Part 5. The path to lifelong discipline, overcoming setbacks. How to recover quickly when discipline slips. The art of long-term commitment. Staying disciplined for years, not just weeks. When discipline becomes effortless, the moment discipline stops feeling like work. Becoming unstoppable. How to sustain discipline for life and achieve the impossible. Would you like to make any changes to the chapter structure, or should I continue with Chapter 5? Chapter 5. Rewiring your mindset. Discipline begins in the mind. Before you ever take action, before you ever build a habit, before you ever commit to a goal, you make a decision. And that decision is controlled by the way you think. The problem: most people's minds are working against them, not for them. They set goals, but don't believe they can achieve them. They attempt discipline, but secretly expect to fail. They fight against their own thoughts, without realizing that discipline isn't just about what you do. It's about how you think. Think about it this way. If you see yourself as an undisciplined person, your actions will reflect that. Even if you force yourself to take action for a while, your mind will always pull you back to what it believes is true about you. That's why people relapse into bad habits. It's why they fall off track after making progress. They never actually changed. They just fought their old patterns for a little while before slipping back into them. To become disciplined, you must rewire your mind. That starts with eliminating the false beliefs that are keeping you stuck. The lies you've been told about discipline. I'm just not a disciplined person. No one is born disciplined. Discipline is a skill, not a personality trait. If you struggle with it, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you haven't been taught the right strategies. I need to feel motivated to take action. This is the biggest trap of all. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. If you rely on it, you'll always be inconsistent. Disciplined people don't wait to feel ready. They act, no matter what. If I fail once, I've ruined my progress. This kind of thinking destroys more discipline than anything else. One bad day doesn't erase weeks of effort. What does erase progress is the decision to quit. The key to long-term discipline is not perfection, but resilience. How to rewire your mind for discipline. Adopt the identity of a disciplined person. Instead of saying, I wish I had more discipline, start saying, even if you don't fully believe it yet, your mind will begin to adapt. The more you reinforce this identity, the more your actions will align with it. Shift from an outcome-based mindset to a process-based one. Most people focus on the goal. Losing weight, writing a book, making more money. But real discipline comes from focusing on the process. If you only care about the result, you'll quit the moment progress slows. If you focus on the daily habits that lead to success, the outcome takes care of itself. Train your brain to act without debate. The biggest reason people fail at discipline is hesitation. They think too much. They negotiate with themselves. Should I go to the gym today? Do I really have to work on this now? The moment you let your brain start debating, you've already lost. Instead, make action automatic. When it's time to do something, do it. No questions, no hesitation. Your mind can be your greatest weapon, or your greatest weapon, or your greatest weakness. The good news, you control the programming. Rewire your mindset, and discipline will no longer be something you struggle with. It will become something you are. Chapter 6. Identity and self-discipline. At the core of discipline lies one powerful concept: identity. How you see yourself, the beliefs you hold about who you are, determines the level of discipline you can maintain. This might sound simple, but it is the missing link for many people who struggle with consistency. They attempt to adopt disciplined habits, but fail to see themselves as disciplined people. And because of that, no matter how hard they try, their behavior never fully aligns with their goals. The truth is, we are always acting in accordance with who we believe we are. The disciplined person isn't the one who constantly has to remind themselves to stay on track. They don't have to fight themselves into making good decisions. They simply act in alignment with their identity. They are disciplined, and because of that, they effortlessly make disciplined choices. The power of self-image, the self-image you carry, is a direct reflection of your behaviors. If you see yourself as someone who's lazy, disorganized, or easily distracted, your actions will reflect that self-image. This belief will pull you back into old habits because you will subconsciously make choices that reinforce that idea. But the moment you begin to change your self-image, everything shifts. When you begin to see yourself as disciplined, your actions will automatically align. It's not about forcing yourself to follow through. It's about embodying the person who does follow through without second-guessing or doubting yourself. The more you embody this identity, the more natural and effortless discipline becomes. How to create a disciplined identity. Start small, but consistent. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to change their identity is going for drastic changes all at once. They try to overhaul their lives overnight, becoming perfectly disciplined right away. And when they fail, they revert to their old identity. Instead, start with small actions that align with your new identity. Commit to doing something disciplined every day, no matter how small. Over time, these small actions build into a larger, more reliable self-image. Speak to yourself as a disciplined person Your language shapes your beliefs. Pay attention to how you talk about yourself. If you catch yourself saying things like, "I'm just not disciplined," or "I can never stick to anything," correct yourself immediately. Instead, say, "I am disciplined." It might feel awkward at first, but the more you reinforce this new identity, the more your actions will reflect it. Make decisions from your new identity. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, what would a disciplined person do? Don't rely on motivation or willpower to guide you. Use your identity. When you make decisions based on the person you're becoming, you start to solidify that identity in your mind. And over time, that disciplined person becomes the default version of you. Surround yourself with supportive reinforcements. Identity is influenced by your environment and the people you spend time with. If you hang around people who reinforce the idea of doing whatever you want or being lazy is okay, it's much harder to maintain a disciplined identity. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with individuals who embody the qualities you want to develop, you'll find it easier to adopt those behaviors as your own. Why this works: when you identify as a disciplined person, you stop relying on external motivation. You don't need to wake up every day and try to muster up the willpower to be disciplined. You simply act in alignment with who you are. And the more you act in alignment with your disciplined identity, the stronger that identity becomes. It's a feedback loop. Discipline strengthens your identity, and your identity strengthens your discipline. The power of identity is not to be underestimated. It is the most lasting and effective form of discipline because it comes from a deep sense of who you are, not just what you do. And once your identity is rooted in discipline, you will never have to fight with yourself to stay on track again. Chapter 7. The War Against Instant Gratification. We live in a world built on immediate reward. We're surrounded by distractions that promise quick satisfaction. Social media scrolls, fast food, binge-worthy shows, and even the temptation to procrastinate instead of tackling important tasks. Our brains are wired for instant gratification, which is why it's so easy to fall into the trap of giving in to momentary pleasure instead of focusing on long-term rewards. The problem with instant gratification is simple. It's short-term and unsustainable. The rewards are fleeting, and the price you pay in the long run, whether it's a missed goal, wasted potential, or a lack of progress, often outweighs the immediate pleasure. If you don't learn how to resist these impulses, you'll find yourself stuck in a loop of unfulfilled potential, constantly chasing after the next quick fix instead of working toward lasting achievement. This is where discipline plays a crucial role. Discipline doesn't chase after what feels good right now. It pushes through the discomfort of the moment to achieve something far greater. The disciplined person understands that true rewards come over time, not instantly. They know that delayed gratification is the secret to achieving the extraordinary results they desire. The science behind instant gratification. Instant gratification is rooted in the brain's reward system. Every time we experience something pleasurable, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This motivates us to repeat the action that caused the release. However, this system can backfire when it comes to long-term goals. Instant rewards like a quick snack, checking your phone, or skipping a workout give a dopamine hit, but they don't lead to any lasting growth. The true challenge, then, is learning how to train your brain to delay that dopamine hit in favor of a greater reward later. This requires changing your relationship with pleasure and pain. training yourself to see the discomfort of working toward your goals as part of the journey, not something to be avoided. How to resist instant gratification. Create a pause between desire and action. The first step to resisting instant gratification is creating a space between the impulse and the action. When you feel the urge to give in to temptation, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this decision moving me closer to my long-term goals or further away? This brief moment of reflection gives you the space to make a conscious, disciplined choice instead of reacting impulsively. Focus on long-term rewards. Remind yourself of the bigger picture. Every time you're faced with a decision, whether it's skipping a workout or procrastinating on a task, ask yourself, what will this choice cost me in the long run? Visualize the benefits of staying disciplined. Better health, a finished project, the sense of accomplishment. Keep your eyes fixed on the end result. The more vividly you can picture the long-term rewards, the easier it becomes to resist the instant reward. Break large goals into smaller, achievable milestones. The bigger the goal, the more overwhelming it can feel. And when things feel overwhelming, the brain craves quick rewards. To combat this, break your large goals into smaller, more manageable tasks that offer small wins along the way. Celebrate these small victories. They provide their own version of instant gratification, while still keeping you on track toward your larger goal. This helps maintain motivation without succumbing to the distractions of instant pleasure. Practice self-compassion. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. If you give in to instant gratification once in a while, don't beat yourself up. Instead, acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward. Self-compassion is key to long-term success, because the more you punish yourself for small slip-ups, the more you reinforce a cycle of guilt and shame. Discipline thrives in an environment of encouragement, not self-criticism. The rewards of delayed gratification. When you resist the pull of instant gratification, you're not just delaying pleasure for the sake of it. You're investing in something far greater. The rewards of delayed gratification are compound. Every time you resist the easy option and choose long-term progress, you build momentum. Over time, this momentum becomes unstoppable. The more you practice delaying gratification, the easier it becomes to make disciplined choices. And soon, what once felt difficult will become second nature. True discipline is the ability to focus on what matters most, even when the world is tempting you to take shortcuts. It's about choosing your future over fleeting pleasure and investing in yourself instead of seeking immediate rewards. Mastering the war against instant gratification is one of the most powerful skills you can develop to ensure lasting success. Chapter 8. The psychology of self-control. Self-control is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Whether it's resisting the urge to procrastinate, staying focused on your goals, or maintaining discipline when no one is watching, self-control is what separates the people who achieve their dreams from those who fall short. But here's the kicker. Self-control is not a fixed trait. It's not something you either have or you don't. Instead, it's a skill that can be trained, developed, and strengthened over time. And understanding the psychology behind it is the first step to building stronger self-control that will help you stay disciplined in every area of your life. Why self-control is so hard to understand. How to master self-control, you need to know why it's so difficult in the first place. The challenge comes from the way our brains are wired. Your brain wants to avoid discomfort, and it's constantly seeking immediate rewards. This is the same wiring that drives you to check your phone every few minutes, snack on junk food, or indulge in procrastination. The problem arises when these short-term pleasures clash with your long-term goals. Your brain wants instant gratification, but your goals require delayed rewards. So, when you face a temptation, whether it's skipping a workout, eating unhealthy food, or putting off an important task, your brain instinctively pushes you toward the path of least resistance. The momentary pleasure of giving in feels so much easier than the discomfort of staying disciplined. But here's the truth. Self-control isn't about forcing yourself to resist the urge. It's about understanding why that urge is there and learning how to manage it effectively. The science of self-control research shows that self-control is a finite resource. It's like a muscle. It gets fatigued the more you use it. When you make decision after decision, each one requiring discipline, your ability to exercise self-control starts to wear down. This is why you might find it easier to resist temptation in the morning, but struggle more as the day goes on. By the time evening hits, your self-control muscle is exhausted, and you may give in to temptation more easily. The key takeaway here is this. Self-control isn't about relying on willpower alone. It's about conserving your mental energy for the most important decisions, while making small changes that make it easier to stay disciplined in the long run. Strategies. To strengthen your self-control, make small, easy wins. One of the most effective ways to strengthen self-control is by starting small. Don't try to force yourself into a massive change overnight. Begin with small, manageable tasks that you know you can succeed at. Each small victory strengthens your self-control muscle and makes the next challenge a little easier. Over time, you'll find that the more you build momentum through small wins, the stronger your self-control becomes. Reduce temptation. One of the best ways to preserve self-control is to avoid the situations where you're most likely to fail. If you struggle with procrastination, remove distractions from your workspace. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. The less you expose yourself to temptation, the less energy you'll need to resist it. In this way, you're not relying on willpower alone. You're proactively creating an environment that supports your success. Practice delayed gratification. The more you practice delaying gratification, the stronger your self-control becomes. Start by setting small delays between your urges and actions. For example, if you feel the urge to check your phone during a task, set a timer for 10 minutes and tell yourself you can check it after the timer goes off. Over time, you'll build your self-control and start to experience the benefits of resisting short-term rewards. Use positive reinforcement. Self-control can feel like a struggle, but reinforcing your efforts with positive feedback can help. Celebrate each time you make a disciplined choice, no matter how small, whether it's finishing a task, resisting the urge to procrastinate, or making a healthy choice. Acknowledge your progress. This positive reinforcement releases dopamine in the brain, which strengthens your self-control and helps you stay motivated. Practice mindfulness. Being mindful of your thoughts, emotions, and actions can help you manage your self-control better. When you're aware of your impulses and can observe them without immediately acting on them, you give yourself the opportunity to make more conscious decisions. Mindfulness helps you separate the urge to give in from your actual behavior, creating a space where you can choose how to respond. Building self-control through routine. One of the most effective ways to build lasting self-control is through routine. The more you automate your behaviors through rituals, habits, and consistent actions, the less you rely on willpower. If you set up routines that make discipline automatic, you won't have to fight yourself to stay on track. For example, if you make exercising a non-negotiable part of your morning routine, it becomes something you do without even thinking about it. The decision is already made, and self-control isn't required. The more you build routines that align with your goals, the less mental energy you'll spend on resisting temptations or making decisions. The role of self-compassion, it's important to remember that self-control isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Even the most disciplined people have moments of weakness, and the key is not to let those moments derail you. When you slip up, don't beat yourself up. Instead, practice self-compassion. Recognize that mistakes are part of the process, and use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Self-control is a skill, not a fixed trait, and like any skill, it gets stronger with practice. By understanding the psychology behind self-control, you can start to manage your impulses and develop the mental resilience needed to stay disciplined. Chapter 9. Creating rituals and routines. Successful people don't rely on bursts of willpower to stay disciplined. They rely on well-established routines that guide their day without requiring much mental effort. The most disciplined among us don't waste precious energy on deciding whether or not to do something. They've already decided in advance. They've built their days around habits that naturally keep them on track. This is the power of routines. They automate good habits, so you don't have to debate with yourself. The more you set up these routines, the less you need to rely on your willpower to stay disciplined. You simply follow the routine, and your discipline follows naturally. Why routines are essential for discipline: reduced decision fatigue. Every decision you make throughout the day uses up a little bit of mental energy. The more decisions you have to make, the more fatigued your brain becomes, and the harder it is to stay disciplined. By establishing routines, you eliminate the need for constant decision-making, which frees up energy for more important tasks. Habits take over. Habits are essentially actions that have been repeated so often they become automatic. When you build good habits into your routine, you no longer need to rely on willpower to make good decisions. They just happen. A disciplined person doesn't have to fight the temptation to hit snooze because they've built a routine where they wake up without thinking about it. Consistency breeds results. Discipline is all about consistency. It's not about doing something perfectly once in a while. It's about showing up day after day. Routines help you stay consistent by giving you a framework to follow, even on the days when motivation is low. Mental focus on what matters most. Routines allow you to prioritize what matters most. When your day is structured, you have dedicated time for important tasks, which helps you avoid distractions. You no longer have to choose between what's urgent and what's important. You just do what's already in your routine. Building a routine that works for you. Creating a routine doesn't mean adhering to a rigid schedule every single day. It means establishing patterns of behavior that support your goals. Your routine should align with your values and the life you want to create. Here's how to build one that works for you. Start with your most important tasks. Your routine should begin with the activities that matter most to you and your goals. Start your day with a productive habit that sets a positive tone. Whether it's exercise, meditation, journaling, or tackling your most important work, give priority to the tasks that will make the biggest difference. Build around consistency, not perfection. Routines don't have to be flawless. They just need to be consistent. The key is sticking to your routine as much as possible, even if things don't go exactly as planned. One imperfect day won't undo your progress, but skipping your routine regularly will make it harder to stay disciplined. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Use anchors to create new habits. One of the most effective ways to build a new habit is to anchor it to an existing one. For example, if you want to meditate every morning, do it right after brushing your teeth. If you want to get in the habit of writing every day, do it immediately after your morning coffee. Anchoring new habits to existing routines makes them easier to remember and integrate into your day. Make your routines flexible. Life happens, and things don't always go according to plan. It's important to allow some flexibility in your routine. If something unexpected comes up, don't beat yourself up. Adjust your routine as needed to fit your schedule. The goal is to maintain the core habits that will keep you disciplined, not to rigidly stick to a schedule at all costs. Track your progress. Keep track of your habits to ensure you're staying on course. Whether it's through a journal, an app, or a simple checklist, tracking your progress helps reinforce the idea that you're consistently working toward your goals. It also provides motivation to keep going when you can see how far you've come. Example of a daily routine for discipline. While every routine will be different depending on your goals and lifestyle, here's an example of a daily routine that can foster discipline. 5:30 a.m., wake up, drink water, and stretch 6:00 a.m., 30 minutes of exercise. 6:30 a.m., eat a healthy breakfast. 7:00 a.m., work on your most important task of the day. Deep work, no distractions. 9:00 a.m., check emails and messages. Set a time limit. 10:00 a.m., continue work on a secondary task or project. 12:00 p.m., lunch. 1:00 p.m. Continue with a routine or habit-building activity. Reading, learning. 2:00 p.m. Finish up remaining work tasks or prepare for the next day. 4:00 p.m. Wind down. Engage in a hobby or do something creative. 6:00 p.m. Or spend time with family friends. 9:00 p.m. Reflect on the day. Plan for tomorrow and wind down for bed. This is just a framework, of course, and you'll need to adapt it to suit your needs. The key takeaway is this. By structuring your day with routines and rituals, you reduce the number of decisions you need to make, saving your willpower for what truly matters. The key to long-term success. The real secret to discipline lies in routine. Once you build strong routines around your most important goals, discipline becomes effortless. You won't need to rely on motivation, willpower, or self-talk. You'll simply follow your routine, knowing that it's already aligned with your long-term objectives. The more you automate your habits, the more you free yourself from the mental struggle of discipline. You become a person who does the things that matter without constantly having to choose to do them. And that is the power of routines, making your disciplined life a natural part of your day-to-day existence. Chapter 10. Maintaining momentum. When motivation fades. Motivation is a powerful force. It can fuel your progress, inspire you to take action, and push you toward your goals. But it's also fleeting. Motivation comes in waves, often influenced by external circumstances or your mood on any given day. What happens when motivation fades? What happens when you wake up one morning feeling drained, uninspired, or discouraged. This is where momentum becomes your greatest ally. Momentum is something you can control. It's the force that keeps you going, even when motivation is low. Momentum is the snowball effect. The small actions that build over time into something unstoppable. Once you've built momentum, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because you've already gained some traction. Why momentum is essential for discipline. Momentum reduces effort. When you're in a state of momentum, even the most challenging tasks can feel easier. The initial effort to start a task or build a habit is often the hardest part. But once you've built momentum, the work feels less like a struggle. You've already begun, so continuing feels natural. Momentum creates positive feedback when you keep taking consistent action. It creates a cycle of positive feedback. The more you do, the more you achieve. The more you achieve, the more confident and motivated you become. This feedback loop strengthens your discipline and makes it easier to keep going. Even when motivation wanes, momentum builds resilience. Momentum not only makes progress easier, but it also makes setbacks less impactful. When obstacles arise, they're easier to overcome because you've already established a foundation of momentum. You've created the habit of pushing through challenges, and the more you do it, the more resilient you become. How to build and sustain momentum. Start small. Build gradually. The key to building momentum is starting small and gradually increasing your effort. You don't need to make huge leaps or expect massive results right away. Begin with small, manageable tasks that you can easily accomplish. Every time you finish one of these tasks, you create a small win that fuels your momentum. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't start by trying to write 5,000 words in a day. Start by writing 200 words, then 500. Then 1,000. As you accomplish these smaller goals, you'll build the momentum to tackle larger ones. Celebrate small wins. Momentum is driven by progress, so it's important to celebrate small victories along the way. Every time you complete a task, check something off your list, or make progress toward your goal, take a moment to acknowledge your success. This reinforces the positive cycle of momentum and keeps you motivated to keep going. Don't wait until you've completed an entire project to celebrate. Celebrate each small step. It's those incremental wins that build up over time to create big results. Track your progress. Keeping track of your progress is an excellent way to maintain momentum. When you can see how far you've come, you'll be more motivated to keep going. Tracking progress can be as simple as a to-do list, a habit tracker, or a journal. Whatever method you choose, make sure it's something that allows you to visualize your growth and success. This sense of progress can help you push through the days when motivation is low. When you see how much you've already accomplished, it becomes easier to stay disciplined and keep moving forward. Create a routine that reinforces momentum, as discussed in the previous chapter. Routines are crucial for maintaining momentum. When you make progress a part of your daily life, you're continually building the momentum you need to stay disciplined. Create a routine that includes consistent, small tasks that build toward your larger goal. The more you stick to this routine, the more you'll maintain the momentum that keeps you moving forward. Visualize the end goal. Keeping your ultimate goal in mind is a powerful way to maintain momentum. When things get tough or when motivation seems to slip away, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Visualize the end result and the benefits that will come from your consistent effort. This visualization keeps your purpose clear and reinforces your commitment. Even when the going gets tough, through the dip. Every journey has a dip. A moment when the initial excitement fades and the work feels harder than it did at the beginning. This is often when people lose their momentum. But the key to maintaining momentum is pushing through this dip. It's at this point that many people quit. But if you continue pushing forward, you'll find that the work becomes easier again. Think of the dip as a natural part of the process, not as a signal to stop. Push through, and you'll build even stronger momentum on the other side. How to maintain momentum when motivation is low. Fall back on your routine when motivation is low. It can be tempting to abandon your plans or skip a day of work. This is where your routine becomes essential. Even when you don't feel like it, stick to your routine. The actions that were once difficult will become easier the more you make them a regular part of your life. The consistency of your routine will carry you through the days when motivation is absent. And before you know it, the momentum you've built will bring you back to full strength. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Motivation is often driven by the desire to see results, but the key to sustaining momentum is to focus on the process itself. Instead of fixating on the end result, enjoy the journey. Find fulfillment in the small steps, the daily progress, and the discipline of showing up consistently. When you focus on the process, the outcome will come naturally, and maintaining momentum becomes a natural part of your routine. Keep your why front and center on the days when you feel uninspired. Return to your why. Why did you start this journey in the first place? What are the deep reasons behind your goals? Whether it's achieving a personal milestone, helping others, or creating something meaningful, your why can reignite your passion and restore your momentum. Reminding yourself of the deeper purpose behind your goals helps you push through the hard days and stay disciplined for the long haul. The power of small, consistent actions, the real power of momentum, lies in small, consistent actions. It's not about waiting for motivation to strike or waiting for the perfect moment. It's about taking one step after another, even when things feel tough. Over time, these small actions build upon each other and lead to massive results. Chapter 11. Overcoming obstacles to momentum. Momentum is a powerful force, but it's not always easy to maintain. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, unexpected challenges, distractions, or even self-doubt that can slow down or derail your progress. At times, it can feel like the world is conspiring against you, and the momentum you've worked so hard to build starts to fade. But here's the truth. Obstacles are inevitable, and they don't have to be the end of your momentum. In fact, overcoming obstacles is an essential part of the process. The most successful people aren't those who avoid challenges. They're the ones who know how to face them head on, learn from them, and keep moving forward. The key to maintaining your momentum when obstacles arise is to stay focused on your goals, embrace resilience, and take proactive steps to address challenges. Common obstacles to momentum. Procrastination. Procrastination is one of the biggest obstacles to momentum. It's the voice in your head that convinces you to delay tasks, whether because of fear, overwhelm, or a simple desire for comfort. The longer you procrastinate, the harder it becomes to regain momentum. The solution to procrastination is action. Even if you start with something small or imperfect, getting moving is often the hardest part. The key is to take that first step, no matter how small, and let momentum take over. Once you've started, it's easier to keep going. Self-doubt and fear of failure, self-doubt, can stop momentum dead in its track. When you begin to question your abilities or fear failure, it becomes hard to take the next step. The thought of failure may paralyze you, and you may find yourself avoiding progress altogether. The remedy for self-doubt is to shift your focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of worrying about whether you'll succeed or fail, focus on showing up and doing the work. Embrace the idea that mistakes and setbacks are a natural part of growth and discipline. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Distractions, external distractions, can derail your momentum just as quickly as internal ones. Whether it's the lure of social media, constant notifications, or interruptions from others, distractions can break your flow and disrupt your focus. The key to overcoming distractions is creating an environment that supports your goal. Set boundaries around your time and space. Turn off notifications and eliminate anything that might take your attention away from what matters. By proactively creating a distraction-free environment, you make it easier to stay disciplined and maintain momentum. Burnout sometimes, obstacles to momentum, arise from overexertion. You push yourself too hard, trying to accomplish everything at once, and eventually, burnout sets in. When you're mentally, physically, or emotionally drained, it's impossible to maintain momentum. The antidote to burnout is balance. Learn to pace yourself and recognize when you need rest. Momentum is not about going full throttle all the time. It's about keeping a steady pace and knowing when to take breaks to recharge. Self-care is a critical part of long-term discipline and momentum. Unforeseen life happens. Illness, family emergencies, work crises, or other unexpected events can throw your routine off course and disrupt your progress. In these moments, it's important to recognize that it's okay to have setbacks. The key is to bounce back as quickly as possible. When life throws a curveball, give yourself permission to pause and adjust. Reevaluate your priorities and set new, realistic goals for the situation at hand. Resilience isn't about never being knocked off course. It's about how quickly you get back on track after facing adversity. How to overcome obstacles and maintain momentum. Refocus on your why. When obstacles arise, it's easy to lose sight of your bigger purpose. Remind yourself why you started in the first place. Reconnect with the deeper meaning behind your goals. Whether it's the desire to improve your life, help others, or achieve a personal milestone, your why can reignite your passion and drive. When you remember the reason behind your efforts, it becomes easier to push through challenges and keep your momentum going. Break tasks into smaller pieces. Large tasks can feel overwhelming, and this can lead to procrastination or fear of failure. One of the best ways to overcome this is to break tasks down into smaller, more manageable pieces. For example, if you're working on a long-term project, start by focusing on just one section or aspect of it. By breaking the task down into smaller steps, you create a series of small wins that reinforce your momentum. These small actions build up and create a snowball effect that keeps you moving forward. Use the power of routine when life throws you off course. Routines can be a powerful tool for getting back on track. Even when motivation is low or obstacles arise, a solid routine can provide structure and discipline. If you've already established a routine that supports your goals, it's easier to slip back into it after a setback. Make your routine non-negotiable and commit to showing up every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Consistency is key to regaining your momentum. Reframe your perspective on failure. Failure is an inevitable part of any journey, but it doesn't have to be the end of your momentum. Instead of seeing failure as a setback, view it as an opportunity to learn and grow. When things don't go as planned, take a step back and analyze what went wrong. What can you learn from the situation? How can you improve next time? By reframing failure as a lesson rather than a defeat, you'll maintain the resilience needed to keep moving forward. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a colleague, sharing your goals with someone who can offer support and encouragement can help you stay on track. When someone else is invested in your success, you'll feel more motivated to keep going, even when obstacles arise. Accountability provides an extra layer of commitment, which helps you push through challenges and maintain momentum. Practice self-compassion. Finally, it's important to be kind to yourself when you face obstacles. There will be times when you fall short, slip up, or struggle. Instead of beating yourself up, practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that setbacks are normal, and the most important thing is to keep moving forward. Being hard on yourself will only drain your energy and hinder your progress. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend in the same situation. Embrace obstacles as part of the journey. Obstacles are not signs that you should give up. They're simply part of the journey toward your goals. The key to maintaining momentum is not avoiding challenges, but learning how to face them head-on and use them to strengthen your discipline. Every challenge you overcome builds resilience, and every obstacle you face brings you one step closer to your goal. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to stay disciplined when things get uncomfortable and how to push through the resistance that often comes with growth. Chapter 12. Embracing discomfort and pushing through resistance. The journey toward discipline and success is rarely smooth. There will be moments of discomfort, resistance, and even fear. It's tempting to shy away from these feelings, to avoid the discomfort that comes with growth. But what if I told you that discomfort is not something to avoid, but something to embrace? What if discomfort could become a powerful tool in your pursuit of discipline? Many people stop short of their goals because they fear the discomfort that comes with the hard work required to achieve them. They fear the grind, the long hours, the sacrifices, and the challenge of pushing through mental and physical barriers. But the truth is, discomfort is often a sign that you're on the right path. It's a signal that you're stretching beyond your limits, testing your boundaries, and growing in ways that will ultimately serve you. Discomfort, in all its forms, is part of the process. The key to lasting discipline is learning to sit with that discomfort, push through it, and use it as fuel to propel yourself forward. Understanding resistance and why it appears resistance is that voice in your head that tells you to stop, to give up, or to choose comfort over progress. It's the force that convinces you to skip your workout, delay your work, or make excuses when things get tough. Resistance often appears just when you're about to break through a major obstacle, and its job is to stop you from making progress. But resistance is not the enemy. It's a natural part of the human experience. Everyone faces resistance, but it's how you respond to it that makes all the difference. The most successful people are not those who avoid resistance. They're the ones who learn to face it head-on, acknowledge it, and move past it. Types of discomfort and how to embrace them. Physical discomfort. Physical discomfort often arises when you push your body to do more than it's used to. Whether it's exercise, long hours of work, or simply sitting still for an extended period, physical discomfort is a sign that you're pushing your physical limits. To embrace physical discomfort, start by gradually increasing the challenge. For example, if you're training for a marathon, don't expect to run 26 miles right away. Start with smaller distances and slowly build your endurance. As you become accustomed to discomfort, your body will adapt, and what was once uncomfortable will become easier. The key is to pace yourself and respect your body's signals. But don't be afraid to push your limits. It's through challenging yourself that you grow stronger. Mental discomfort often manifests as frustration, self-doubt, or burnout. It's the voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, or that the task at hand is too difficult. This mental resistance can cause you to procrastinate, give up, or lose focus. To embrace mental discomfort, shift your focus from the negative thoughts to the task at hand. Acknowledge the discomfort, but don't let it control you. You can reframe your thoughts to see challenges as opportunities for growth. When you feel mentally drained, take a short break, but then return to the task with renewed focus and determination. Mental discomfort is often a sign that you're moving beyond your comfort zone. The more you push through these moments, the more resilient and disciplined you become. Emotional discomfort occurs when you're faced with difficult feelings such as anxiety, fear, guilt, or sadness. These emotions can be overwhelming and may cause you to avoid your goals altogether. When you feel emotionally drained, it's easy to retreat into comfort and avoid the hard work. To embrace emotional discomfort, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without judgment. Recognize that emotions are temporary and that you don't need to act on every emotional impulse. Practice emotional regulation techniques, such as deep breathing, meditation, or journaling, to process your feelings. Emotional discomfort is often tied to the fear of failure or the fear of not being good enough. The more you face and accept these emotions, the more you build your emotional resilience, and the easier it becomes to keep moving forward, even when your feelings try to hold you back. Fear of the unknown is a powerful form of resistance that can stop you dead in your tracks. It's the fear of what might happen if you step outside your comfort zone. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of uncertainty. To embrace this discomfort, you must learn to tolerate uncertainty. Instead of letting fear control your decisions, choose to take action despite it. Understand that fear is often a sign that you're on the verge of something great. When you face the unknown with courage, you break through the barriers that keep you from achieving your goals. The key to overcoming fear is to focus on the present moment. Instead of worrying about all the things that could go wrong, focus on the small actions you can take today to move forward. The more you face the unknown, the more comfortable you will become with uncertainty. The power of consistent action in the face of discomfort. The key to pushing through resistance and embracing discomfort is consistent action. The more you act in spite of discomfort, the less power discomfort has over you. Every small action you take, even when you don't feel like it, strengthens your discipline and diminishes the hold resistance has on you. When you keep showing up, even when it's hard, you train yourself to become resilient in the face of discomfort. Over time, Your capacity to handle challenges and push through resistance grows stronger. Here are some strategies to help you keep going when discomfort strikes. Develop a do-it-anyway mentality whenever you feel resistance or discomfort. Adopt a do-it-anyway mindset. This doesn't mean pushing through when you're physically or mentally exhausted to the point of harm, but rather refusing to let discomfort control your actions. Tell yourself, I'm going to do this anyway, even if it's uncomfortable. This small act of defiance can often be enough to push you past resistance. Practice the 5-minute rule. One of the easiest ways to overcome discomfort is to commit to just 5 minutes of work. Often, once you get started, the resistance fades, and you'll find that you can continue beyond the initial discomfort. The 5-minute rule is a simple way to trick your brain into taking action, even when you feel like quitting. Use discomfort as fuel. Rather than seeing discomfort as a reason to stop, use it as fuel to keep going. When you feel resistance, recognize it as a sign that you're pushing yourself in the right direction. Embrace it as a challenge, not a roadblock. Every time you push through discomfort, you gain momentum and strengthen your discipline. Remind yourself of the bigger picture. When discomfort arises, take a moment to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Focus on the larger purpose behind your efforts. Whether it's achieving a long-term goal, growing as a person, or helping others, reconnecting with your deeper why can make the discomfort easier to bear. The benefits of embracing discomfort. Embracing discomfort is not just about enduring the tough moments. It's about transforming them into opportunities for growth. By consistently pushing through resistance, you become stronger, more disciplined, and more resilient. The discomfort you experience today is laying the foundation for your success tomorrow. It's teaching you the skills, mental toughness, and emotional resilience you need to thrive. The more you practice embracing discomfort, the less it will hold you back. Chapter 13. Creating lasting habits for discipline. Discipline isn't just about willpower or occasional bursts of effort. It's about building habits that become second nature. The most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented or the most motivated. They are the ones who have mastered the art of turning discipline into a consistent, automatic practice. The difference between someone who is disciplined and someone who isn't comes down to the habits they've built. Habits are the foundation of consistent action, and when you create the right habits, discipline flows more easily. Instead of relying on motivation to get things done, you can rely on the habits you've intentionally built over time. But how do you turn discipline into a habit? It's not as hard as it sounds, though it does require commitment, patience, and strategic planning. In this chapter, we'll explore how to build lasting habits that will keep you disciplined and moving toward your goals. The power of habit at its core. A habit is simply a behavior that you do repeatedly, often without thinking. Whether it's brushing your teeth, exercising, or even checking your phone, habits are automatic actions that become ingrained in your daily routine. The brain loves habits because they reduce the mental energy required for decision-making. When something becomes a habit, your brain doesn't have to consciously choose to do it. It just happens. This automaticity is what allows people to be consistent in their actions without having to rely on motivation or willpower every day. The key to turning discipline into a habit is to make it as automatic as brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. Here are some strategies to help you build habits that last. 1. Start small. One of the most common mistakes people make when trying to build new habits is starting too big. They set themselves up for failure by trying to overhaul their entire routine in one go. But creating lasting habits is a gradual process. Start with small, manageable steps. If you want to build a habit of exercising every day, don't commit to an hour-long workout at first. Start with 10 or 15 minutes a day. If you want to write more consistently, set a goal to write for just 10 minutes each day. Small wins build confidence, and over time, these small actions compound into something much bigger. The key is consistency, not intensity. By starting small, you make it easier for the new habit to stick. 2. Make it consistent. Habits are built through repetition. To turn a behavior into a habit, you need to do it consistently. The more often you do something, the more automatic it becomes. Pick a specific time each day to work on your habit. Consistency is key in forming a habit, so choose a time that works best for your schedule. This could be the first thing in the morning, during lunch, or just before bed. The goal is to make your habit part of your daily routine. By doing it at the same time every day, you reduce the mental effort required to decide when to do it, and you set up a trigger that prompts your action. For example, if you want to build the habit of reading every day, make it a part of your evening routine. Read for 10 minutes right before bed. 3. Focus on one habit at a time. Trying to change multiple things at once can be overwhelming. When you focus on building just one habit at a time, you give yourself the mental space and energy to commit fully to that habit. Once the first habit becomes ingrained, you can move on to the next one. This approach ensures that you're not spreading yourself too thin and gives each habit the attention it needs to stick. If you're building a morning routine, start with just one key habit, like making your bed every morning. Once that habit is established, you can add more steps to your routine, like drinking water or doing a short workout. The key is to focus on one thing until it becomes automatic. 4. Track your progress. Tracking your progress is one of the most effective ways to stay motivated and committed to building new habits. By keeping track of your actions, you create a visual representation of your commitment, which can encourage you to stay consistent. Use a habit tracker, or simply mark each day that you complete your habit. The more days you mark off, the more motivated you'll feel to continue. You can also use a journal to reflect on your progress, noting how you feel and any challenges you encounter. Tracking your progress reinforces your commitment and reminds you of how far you've come. 5. Make it enjoyable. The more you enjoy a habit, the more likely you are to stick with it. If the new habit feels like a chore or a punishment, you won't be motivated to continue. Find ways to make your new habit enjoyable. If you're trying to build a workout habit, choose activities you enjoy, such as dancing, hiking, or swimming. If you're trying to read more, find books that truly interest you. When you enjoy the process, it becomes easier to make it a part of your routine. 6. Build a support system. Having support can make all the difference when trying to build new habits. Surround yourself with people who support your goals and encourage your progress. Share your goals with friends or family members, or even find a buddy who is also working on building a habit. You can hold each other accountable, check in on each other's progress, and celebrate milestones together. Having a support system adds an element of social accountability, which can make the process of building habits more enjoyable and effective. 7. Be patient and persistent. Building lasting habits takes time. It's important to be patient with yourself and not expect overnight success. Research shows that, on average, It takes about 66 days for a new habit to become automatic. During this time, there will be days when you slip up, miss a workout, or forget to do your habit. That's okay. What matters is that you get back on track as soon as possible. The key to success is persistence, not perfection. When you focus on progress, not perfection, you can build habits that last a lifetime. 8. Make the habit part of your identity. One of the most powerful ways to make a habit stick is to align it with your identity. Instead of saying, I want to read more, say, I am a reader. Instead of saying, I want to exercise more, say, I am an active person. When you make the habit part of who you are, it becomes easier to stay consistent. Your identity drives your behavior, and the more you see yourself as someone who embodies the habit, the less effort it takes to maintain it. The compound effect of habits when you commit to building positive habits. The results are often not immediate, but over time, the compound effect kicks in. Small habits, practiced consistently, lead to big changes. These habits stack on top of each other, creating momentum and accelerating your growth. The beauty of habits is that they create a snowball effect. Once you establish one good habit, it becomes easier to add more. The discipline you develop through your habits propels you toward bigger goals and greater success. Chapter 14. Measuring progress and reflecting on growth. One of the most crucial aspects of building lasting discipline is tracking your progress and reflecting on your growth. Without regular assessment, it's easy to lose sight of how far you've come and fall into the trap of thinking that no progress is being made. This is where the power of reflection and measurement comes into play. Success is rarely a straight line. It's more of a winding path with ups and downs. But without measuring your progress, you might miss the growth that's taking place beneath the surface. Just as you can't expect to improve without putting in the work, you can't expect to see results unless you actively monitor your efforts. In this chapter, we'll dive into how to measure progress effectively and the importance of reflection in the process of building discipline. Why measuring progress matters. Measuring progress serves as both a motivational tool and a means of identifying areas where you can improve. When you track your efforts, you gain clarity about what's working and what's not. This allows you to adjust your strategy, make informed decisions, and stay on course toward your goals. Without measuring, it's easy to feel discouraged, especially when you don't see immediate results. But when you track your progress, you start to notice incremental improvements, even on the tough days. It helps you see that small steps add up over time. Methods for measuring progress set clear and specific goals. The first step in measuring progress is setting clear, specific goals. Vague goals like get in shape or be more productive are hard to track because they lack clear definitions of success. Instead, break down these broad goals into measurable objectives. For example, instead of saying, I want to exercise more, set a goal like, I will exercise for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. This goal is specific, measurable, and achievable. Once you've set measurable goals, you can track your progress on a daily or weekly basis. Track daily habits. One of the simplest ways to measure progress is by tracking your daily habits. Create a checklist or use a habit tracking app to log each time you complete a habit. Tracking the small actions consistently can reveal patterns and trends that show whether you're staying on track or slipping up. For example, If your goal is to read every day, mark off each day you read. The visual representation of your progress is incredibly motivating. It's easy to see how many days in a row you've succeeded and how close you are to hitting your target. Quantify your results to make progress more tangible. Quantify your results. Numbers give a clear representation of your efforts and allow you to compare where you are now to where you are in the past. If you're working on fitness, track the number of reps or the weight you lift. If you're improving your writing, count the words or pages you write each day. If your goal is to save money, track the amount you're putting aside each week. Use milestones and benchmarks. Milestones are small, achievable goals along the way to your larger objectives. They act as check-in points, giving you a sense of accomplishment as you progress. For example, if your long-term goal is to write a book, a milestone might be completing the first chapter or reaching 10,000 words. Milestones provide an opportunity to pause and celebrate how far you've come, reinforcing the belief that you're capable of achieving your ultimate goal. Benchmarks are also helpful for comparing your performance over time. For instance, if you're aiming to increase your productivity, benchmark your output each week. Are you getting more done than you did last month? If not, you can use that information to adjust your habits or your routine. Review and reflect regularly. Progress isn't just about numbers. It's also about how you feel and the skills you've developed along the way. Regularly take time to review your progress and reflect on the lessons you've learned. Set aside time each week or month to look at your achievements and challenges. Reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how you can adjust your approach moving forward. Ask yourself questions like, how do I feel about my progress? Have I become more consistent? What challenges did I face, and how did I overcome them? Where did I fall short, and what can I learn from that? By reflecting on both your successes and setbacks, you can refine your strategy and keep growing. The role of reflection in growth reflection is the bridge between action and improvement. Without reflection, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day tasks without taking the time to analyze how they contribute to your bigger picture. When you reflect on your progress, you take an intentional step back and look at your journey with a fresh perspective. This allows you to identify patterns, celebrate wins, and make necessary adjustments to your course. Reflection also allows you to gain a deeper understanding of yourself. You can examine your motivations, identify any limiting beliefs, and recognize how far you've come in terms of discipline and personal growth. In addition, reflection creates an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the small victories that might otherwise go unnoticed. These small wins, when recognized, fuel your motivation to keep going and build even more momentum. Common pitfalls in measuring progress. While measuring progress is crucial, it's important to be mindful of potential pitfalls that could skew your perception of success. Focusing too much on the outcome, it's easy to get fixated on the end result and ignore the small steps that get you there. Progress is a journey, and it's important to celebrate the effort, not just the outcome. If you're focused solely on the end goal, you might overlook the growth you've made along the way. Being too hard on yourself, it's natural to feel disappointed if you miss a milestone or don't meet your goal right away. However, being too critical of yourself can demotivate you. Remember that setbacks are part of the process. The key is to acknowledge them, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Comparing yourself to others, everyone's journey is unique, and comparing your progress to others can create unnecessary pressure. Measure your success against your own past efforts, not against someone else's accomplishments. Your progress is personal to you, and as long as you're improving, you're on the right track. Expecting perfection progress isn't always linear. You will encounter obstacles and setbacks. The key is consistency over perfection. Allow yourself to experience imperfections, knowing that they don't negate your overall growth. How measuring and reflecting leads to growth. When you consistently measure your progress and reflect on your growth, you develop a deeper connection to your goals and a greater understanding of what works for you. You learn to celebrate small wins and use setbacks as stepping stones for improvement. Through this process, you begin to cultivate self-awareness and discipline that will carry you through difficult moments and keep you moving towards success. Each step you take, whether forward or backward, becomes an integral part of your personal growth. Chapter 15. Overcoming obstacles and staying disciplined. No matter how well you plan, there will always be obstacles. Life is unpredictable, and discipline is often tested when challenges arise. Whether it's a sudden change in your routine, a personal setback, or external circumstances beyond your control, how you respond to these obstacles can make or break your discipline. The key to maintaining discipline is not in avoiding obstacles, but in learning how to navigate them when they inevitably appear. In this chapter, we'll discuss strategies for overcoming obstacles, maintaining your focus, and continuing to build discipline, no matter what life throws at you. 1. Acknowledge and accept obstacles. The first step to overcoming any obstacle is acknowledging that it exists. Denying challenges or pretending they aren't there won't help you move forward. Obstacles are a part of life, and trying to avoid them altogether sets you up for frustration and failure. Instead, accept that obstacles will come. When you encounter a setback or disruption in your routine, don't dwell on the problem. Shift your focus to finding a solution. Adopting this mindset helps you stay calm and proactive, rather than reactive and defeated. Sometimes, obstacles force you to reframe your approach to your goals. What seemed like a direct path forward may need to be altered, but that doesn't mean you've lost your way. Flexibility is a key component of discipline, as it allows you to adapt and move forward with renewed purpose. 2. Stay solution-focused when faced with an obstacle. It's easy to get caught up in the frustration of the situation. But dwelling on the problem only drains your energy and focus. The most disciplined individuals are those who are able to quickly shift their attention from the obstacle itself to finding a solution. Ask yourself questions like, what can I control in this situation? How can I adjust my plans to work with this new challenge? What can I learn from this setback? The faster you shift from problem mode to solution mode, the more efficiently you can move forward. Remember, obstacles are often opportunities in disguise, teaching you lessons you wouldn't have learned otherwise. 3. Build resilience with the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's what allows you to stay disciplined and keep moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. Resilience is a skill that can be developed over time, and it's one of the most important traits for maintaining discipline. To build resilience, focus on the following. Develop a growth mindset. View obstacles as opportunities to learn, rather than as roadblocks. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself when things don't go as expected. Acknowledge your struggles without being overly harsh. Cultivate a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who can offer encouragement and advice when times get tough. Maintain a positive outlook, even when things aren't going well. Focus on the things that are working. A positive mindset helps you maintain your discipline in the face of adversity. 4. Break the obstacle down sometimes. Obstacles feel insurmountable because they appear too large or complex. When this happens, it's important to break the challenge down into smaller, more manageable parts. For example, if you're facing a financial setback and are struggling to maintain your savings discipline, instead of focusing on the overwhelming total amount you need to save, break it down into smaller, more achievable targets. Look at the individual actions you can take, such as cutting unnecessary expenses or setting aside a small amount each day. By breaking down obstacles into smaller components, you give yourself a clearer path forward and reduce the sense of overwhelm that comes with tackling a big challenge. 5. Embrace flexibility and adjust your expectations. While consistency is key to discipline, it's equally important to remain flexible in your approach. Sometimes life changes unexpectedly, and you need to adjust your expectations and plans accordingly. For example, you might have a goal to exercise every morning, but an unexpected work deadline keeps you from sticking to your usual routine. Instead of abandoning your discipline altogether, adjust your plan. Maybe you can shift your workout to the evening or reduce the time you spend working out to fit into your schedule. The goal is to make adjustments that allow you to continue making progress despite setbacks. Discipline isn't about rigidly adhering to a single plan. It's about being flexible enough to adjust your actions when life requires it, while still moving toward your ultimate goal. 6. Practice delayed gratification when faced with obstacles. The temptation to abandon your goals in favor of immediate relief or satisfaction can be strong. However, maintaining discipline requires the ability to delay gratification, the willingness to put in the work now for the benefit of future rewards. Delayed gratification is a skill that can be cultivated over time, and it's one of the hallmarks of a disciplined person. When an obstacle threatens your progress, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Focus on the long-term rewards, not the short-term discomfort. For instance, if you're working on a personal project and experience setbacks, it may feel easier to quit and indulge in distractions. But by practicing delayed gratification, you remind yourself that the effort you put in now will pay off in the long run. 7. Use accountability to stay on track when obstacles arise. It's easy to let your discipline slip if you don't have someone to hold you accountable. That's why having a mentor, coach, or accountability partner is invaluable. They can help you stay on track during challenging times and offer advice or encouragement when you need it most. Accountability works because it creates a sense of responsibility and keeps you committed to your goals. Knowing that someone else is expecting you to take action can motivate you to push through obstacles and stay disciplined. If you don't have someone in your life who can serve as an accountability partner, consider joining a community of like-minded individuals who share similar goals. Online forums, group coaching sessions, or local support groups can provide the connection and accountability you need to keep going. 8. Learn to adjust your routine when necessary. Discipline isn't just about sticking to a rigid routine. It's about creating a structure that helps you achieve your goals. And sometimes that structure needs to change. If a specific routine is no longer serving you because of an obstacle, consider revising it. If something about your morning ritual isn't working because of an unexpected work schedule, adjust it. Instead of forcing yourself into a routine that doesn't fit, get creative and find new ways to structure your day so that you can still accomplish your objectives. Discipline is the ability to show up, even when things get tough. It's about staying committed to your goals, even in the face of adversity. The more you practice overcoming obstacles, the more resilient and disciplined you become. Chapter 16. Maintaining long-term motivation. In the journey toward building discipline, motivation is the fuel that keeps the engine running. But motivation can be fleeting. It's easy to feel excited and energized at the start of a new endeavor. But what happens when the initial enthusiasm starts to fade, and you're left with the daily grind? Long-term motivation is about more than just bursts of energy. It's about sustaining your commitment over time, through the ups and downs. In this chapter, we will explore how to maintain your motivation in the long term, even when things feel difficult, or when the excitement wanes. 1. Anchor your motivation to a deeper purpose. When motivation begins to wane, it's important to reconnect with the underlying purpose behind your goals. Motivation that is anchored solely in short-term rewards or external validation tends to be fleeting, but motivation grounded in a deeper, more meaningful purpose is much stronger and more enduring. Ask yourself why your goal matters beyond the immediate benefits. Does it align with your values? Does it contribute to your long-term vision for your life? When you connect your actions to a greater purpose, the work becomes less about the end result and more about the meaningful process of growth. For example, if you're working toward a fitness goal, it may not just be about looking better. It could be about feeling stronger, improving your health, or being able to play with your kids without fatigue. When your motivation is rooted in this deeper purpose, it becomes easier to stay committed when times get tough. 2. Celebrate small wins and milestones. Long-term goals often feel daunting because the finish line seems so far away. To maintain motivation, break those large goals down into smaller, more achievable milestones. Each time you hit one of those smaller targets, take a moment to celebrate. Celebrating your progress, no matter how small, creates a sense of accomplishment and reinforces the belief that you're moving in the right direction. These moments of recognition build momentum and keep your motivation high, reminding you that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, celebrate when you finish a chapter or reach a certain word count. If you're working on a fitness goal, reward yourself after a week of consistently following your routine. These celebrations can be simple. Treat yourself to something special, or take a moment to acknowledge your effort. 3. Create routines that fuel motivation. One of the keys to sustaining motivation over time is developing routines that support your goals. When your actions become automatic, you don't have to rely on willpower or motivation to keep you on track. By integrating productive habits into your daily routine, you make progress without having to think about it. For example, if you're working toward a goal of reading more, make it a habit to read for 10 minutes every morning before work. If you're focused on improving your fitness, build your workout into your schedule so that it becomes as automatic as brushing your teeth. The more these routines become part of your life, the less you have to depend on bursts of motivation to keep you going. Your routine will become the catalyst for your success, and discipline will take over. 4. Stay accountable to others. Accountability is one of the most effective ways to maintain motivation over the long term. When someone else is involved in your journey, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or even a friend, you have an external source of motivation to keep you moving forward. The act of sharing your goals with others makes them more tangible. When you're accountable to someone else, you're less likely to let your discipline slip because you don't want to disappoint them or let them down. This external accountability helps you stay on track, even when your internal motivation falters. Consider joining a group, hiring a coach, or simply sharing your progress with a close friend. Whether it's checking in weekly or having a monthly progress review, these checkpoints will provide an added layer of motivation to keep going. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. Motivation can easily slip away if you're focused on achieving perfection. The desire to be perfect can lead to frustration and burnout, especially when things don't go exactly as planned. The key to maintaining long-term motivation is shifting your mindset from perfection to progress. Recognize that progress is the goal, not perfection. Embrace the fact that you'll have setbacks and challenges along the way. As long as you're moving forward, you are making progress. By focusing on your progress instead of striving for an unattainable ideal, you give yourself the freedom to stay motivated, even when things aren't perfect. Remember, every day you show up and put in the effort, no matter how small the progress, is a step toward your ultimate goal. Celebrate that progress and keep moving forward. 6. Visualize your success. Visualization is a powerful tool for maintaining motivation. By regularly visualizing your success, you reinforce the belief that your goals are achievable, and you remind yourself of why you started in the first place. Take a few moments each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself achieving your goal. Picture the end result in vivid detail, how it will feel, what it will look like, and how it will impact your life. This mental rehearsal can create a sense of excitement and anticipation that propels you to take the necessary steps to make your vision a reality. Visualization can also help you push through challenging times. When obstacles arise, visualize yourself overcoming them, staying committed, and ultimately reaching your goal. This mental imagery strengthens your resolve and keeps your motivation alive. 7. Adjust your environment. Your environment plays a huge role in sustaining motivation. If your space is cluttered, disorganized, or filled with distractions, it can be difficult to stay focused and committed. Create an environment that supports your goals by removing distractions and filling it with things that inspire and motivate you. For example, if your goal is to write a book, create a dedicated writing space that encourages focus. If you're working on fitness, set up an area in your home with your exercise equipment and motivational quotes to remind you why you're committed to this journey. A positive, supportive environment acts as a constant reminder of your goals, which helps maintain motivation even when you're not consciously thinking about it. 8. Embrace the journey, not just the destination. One of the most powerful ways to maintain long-term motivation is to embrace the journey itself, rather than solely focusing on the destination. This mindset shift helps you find joy in the process, even when the end goal seems far away. When you learn to appreciate the small victories, the lessons you learn along the way, and the personal growth you experience, motivation becomes less about the final result and more about the progress you make each day. The discipline to show up every day and keep going, regardless of how far away the end goal might seem, is what builds lasting motivation. By embracing the journey, you transform every challenge into an opportunity for growth, and every setback into a lesson learned. 9. Reinforce your why. Regularly, finally. Keep your why front and center. Your why is the reason you started. The deep-rooted belief that drives you to keep going when the excitement fades. Revisit your why regularly to remind yourself of the bigger picture. Write down your why and keep it visible, whether it's a quote, a statement of purpose, or a personal mantra. Having a constant reminder of why you're working toward your goals can reignite your motivation when it starts to fade. Conclusion: long-term motivation isn't about staying perpetually excited. It's about finding ways to keep going even when the initial spark fades. By reconnecting with your deeper purpose, celebrating small wins, creating routines that support your goals, and focusing on progress, you can maintain motivation over the long haul. Discipline becomes easier when you build systems that keep you committed, and motivation becomes sustainable when you stay anchored to the bigger picture. Chapter 17. Reflecting on your discipline journey. The path to mastering discipline is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, setbacks, and moments of triumph. As you continue to grow and develop your discipline, it's essential to periodically reflect on your progress. Reflection is a powerful tool for learning from both your successes and failures, helping you make informed decisions as you move forward. In this chapter, we'll explore how to reflect on your discipline journey, review your progress, and adjust your approach to ensure continued success. Reflection isn't just about looking back. It's about gaining insights that help you move forward with even greater focus and clarity. 1. The importance of reflection in discipline. Reflection serves as a checkpoint in your discipline journey. It allows you to evaluate where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. Without regular reflection, it's easy to lose sight of your progress or fall into the trap of self-criticism. When you reflect on your discipline practices, you take time to assess whether your current strategies are working, where you've improved, and where there's still room for growth. This process allows you to adapt, refine, and continue evolving as you work toward your goals. Reflection helps you answer critical questions like, what's working well in my discipline practice? Where have I fallen short, and why? What new strategies or habits can I incorporate into my routine? How have I grown throughout this journey, and what can I celebrate? These insights provide clarity, helping you course correct if necessary and stay on track. 2. Celebrate your wins, big and small, when reflecting on your discipline journey. It's crucial to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. Too often, we focus on what we haven't achieved yet, instead of acknowledging how far we've come. Celebrating your progress, even in its smallest forms, reinforces your commitment and boosts your motivation. Take a moment to recognize the milestones you've hit, whether it's completing a project, sticking to a daily habit for a month, or improving a specific skill. Each of these achievements represents your growth and the discipline you've developed. Celebrating these moments can also provide a much-needed boost of confidence. When you see how far you've come, you gain the strength and motivation to keep pushing forward, even when things get tough. 3. Identify areas for improvement. While celebration is important, reflection should also involve honest self-assessment. This is where you can take a closer look at the areas where you may have fallen short of your expectations. Identifying these areas is not about self-criticism, it's about learning. Ask yourself questions like, where have I been inconsistent in my efforts? What obstacles have I encountered? And how did I handle them? Were there any moments where I lacked discipline or motivation? And why did that happen? Once you've identified these areas, focus on finding solutions. What can you do differently next time to stay on track? What adjustments can you make to your habits or routines to improve your discipline moving forward? Recognizing where you need to improve isn't a failure. It's an opportunity for growth. Reflection helps you turn setbacks into lessons and challenges into stepping stones. 4. Refine your strategies and habits as you reflect on your journey. Take note of the strategies and habits that have worked well for you and those that haven't. What helped you stay disciplined and on track? What didn't? By examining your routines, habits, and techniques, you can identify patterns that contribute to your success or hinder your progress. For example, if you find that your productivity drops in the afternoon, perhaps adjusting your schedule to work in the morning or incorporating short breaks could help. Or, if you realize that you're not holding yourself accountable enough, adding a check-in system or involving an accountability partner could keep you on track. Your discipline strategies aren't set in stone. The key is to stay adaptable, refining your approach as you learn what works best for you. 5. Track your growth over time. One of the most powerful aspects of reflection is tracking your progress over time. When you can look back and see how far you've come, it reinforces your commitment to your goals. You may have already made incredible strides in building discipline, but it's easy to overlook these accomplishments if you don't track them. To track your growth, create a system that allows you to measure and document your progress. This could be as simple as keeping a journal, maintaining a goal tracker, or using apps that monitor your habits. For example, if one of your goals is to improve your physical health, you can track things like the number of workouts completed, the improvements in your strength or stamina, or even your dietary habits. For professional goals, you might track milestones such as project completions, sales targets, or the development of new skills. When you look back at these milestones, you'll realize just how much progress you've made, which can fuel your motivation to continue. Tracking growth gives you a tangible reminder of your hard work and effort. 6. Learn from setbacks. Reflection also provides the opportunity to learn from setbacks. Instead of viewing failures as defeats, look at them as learning experiences. What did you learn from these moments? How can you use this knowledge to improve your discipline going forward? Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, both in discipline and in character. Embrace setbacks as part of the process, not as roadblocks. By reflecting on what went wrong and how you can adjust, you turn failures into stepping stones that propel you forward. 7. Keep your eyes on the bigger picture. Finally, reflection helps you reconnect with your bigger picture, the larger purpose behind your discipline. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in day-to-day struggles and lose sight of why you started in the first place. As you reflect on your journey, remind yourself of the bigger goals that drive you. What is the long-term impact of your discipline? How will your commitment to your goals shape your future? By keeping your focus on the bigger picture, you stay grounded in the ultimate reason you're working so hard. This perspective helps you push through tough times and stay committed to your discipline, even when progress seems slow. Eh, Make adjustments moving forward. Reflection isn't just about looking back. It's also about using the insights you gain to make adjustments moving forward. With your newfound understanding of what's working and what's not, you can refine your approach to discipline. Ask yourself, what changes can I make to improve my discipline going forward? What habits or routines do I need to adjust? How can I ensure that I stay on track with my goals? By continuously refining your approach, you ensure that your discipline becomes stronger over time. Adjusting your strategies based on reflection allows you to stay relevant, focused, and adaptable, which is key to long-term success. Conclusion: reflecting on your discipline journey is an essential practice that allows you to assess your growth, learn from your experiences, and make the necessary adjustments to continue moving forward. By celebrating your successes, learning from setbacks, refining your strategies, and staying connected to your larger purpose, you create a solid foundation for long-term discipline. Chapter 18. Preparing for the future with confidence. The journey of mastering discipline is never truly over. It's a lifelong process, one that requires continuous growth, adaptation, and forward thinking. After all, discipline isn't just about what you achieve today. It's about setting yourself up for future success and remaining committed to your long-term goals. In this chapter, we'll explore how to prepare for the future with the confidence that your discipline will carry you through whatever challenges lie ahead. As you move forward, remember that each decision you make now impacts the person you will become. Cultivate a growth mindset, a critical factor in preparing for the future with confidence is adopting a growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed over time with effort, learning, and persistence. It's the opposite of a fixed mindset, which assumes that your qualities are innate and unchangeable. By embracing a growth mindset, you open yourself to opportunities for growth and improvement. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to learn and evolve, rather than as obstacles that threaten your success. This mindset allows you to approach the future with resilience, knowing that even when you encounter setbacks, they are part of the learning process. Cultivating a growth mindset means viewing challenges as learning opportunities, embracing feedback, and using it to improve. Believing that effort and persistence lead to growth. Viewing mistakes as stepping stones to success. When you adopt a growth mindset, you prepare yourself to embrace future challenges with confidence, knowing that you have the ability to adapt and improve over time. 2. Set long-term goals with clarity. One of the best ways to prepare for the future is by setting clear, long-term goals. While it's important to focus on the present, your vision for the future provides direction and motivation for the journey ahead. Start by thinking about where you want to be in 5, 10, or even 20 years. What do you want to achieve? What kind of person do you want to become? These long-term goals provide a sense of purpose and drive that will guide your decisions and actions in the present. Once you have a clear vision for your future, break these long-term goals down into smaller, actionable steps. This makes the journey feel more manageable and gives you something tangible to work toward. For example, if your long-term goal is to build a successful career, break it down into short-term goals like gaining relevant skills, networking, and seeking out new opportunities. With each step, you get closer to your long-term vision. Having clear, measurable goals gives you a roadmap for your future and helps ensure that your discipline remains focused and directed. 3. Build resilience for the future. Discipline isn't just about doing the right things. It's about persevering in the face of adversity. Life will throw challenges your way, and you need to be prepared to face them with resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, stay calm in the face of difficulties, and continue moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. To build resilience, practice developing emotional strength. Recognize that setbacks are a normal part of life. When faced with challenges, instead of reacting impulsively, pause and assess the situation calmly. Cultivating patience. Understand that progress takes time. Be patient with yourself and trust that the effort you put in will pay off. Practicing self-compassion. Be kind to yourself during difficult times. Treat yourself with the same understanding and support you would offer a friend. Building a support network. Surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Having a strong support system can help you maintain resilience when you face obstacles. By cultivating resilience, you equip yourself to handle future challenges with confidence, knowing that you have the inner strength to persevere. 4. Develop a system of continuous learning. The future will always present new opportunities and challenges. And to stay ahead, you must commit to continuous learning. Discipline is not only about consistency in habits, it's about continually improving and evolving as a person. Develop a system of continuous learning that allows you to grow and adapt in your discipline. This could include reading books, articles, or research papers related to your field, taking courses or attending workshops to expand your skills, seeking out mentors who can guide you and offer new perspectives, practicing new techniques or refining existing ones to stay sharp. By committing to lifelong learning, you ensure that your discipline remains adaptable to changes in your environment. Knowledge is power, and by continuously learning, you position yourself for success in an ever-changing world. 5.2 Priorities health and well-being. Your future success depends not only on your mental and emotional discipline, but also on your physical well-being. Without good health, it becomes much harder to maintain focus, consistency, and productivity in the long term. To prepare for the future, prioritize self-care and well-being in your daily routine. This includes exercise. Regular physical activity keeps your body healthy and boosts mental clarity and focus. Nutrition. Eating a balanced diet provides the energy and nutrients necessary to fuel your body and mind. Sleep. Adequate rest is essential for recovery and cognitive function. Stress management. Develop healthy coping mechanisms for stress, such as meditation, journaling, or spending time outdoors. By maintaining a healthy body and mind, you ensure that you have the energy and focus to stay disciplined and work toward your goals with vigor. 6. Adapt to change and stay flexible. The future is uncertain, and change is inevitable. Your ability to adapt to new circumstances and stay flexible in your approach will play a significant role in your long-term success. Prepare for the future by embracing change and viewing it as an opportunity rather than a threat. The more flexible you are in your approach, the more easily you can pivot when necessary. and stay on track towards your goals. Consider developing a mindset that thrives on change. Be open to new ideas and innovations. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow and learn. Adjust your plans when circumstances require, but stay focused on the end goal. By remaining adaptable, you position yourself to succeed in the face of any challenge that may arise. 7. Build strong relationships for long-term success. Your success is not only shaped by your individual discipline, it's also influenced by the relationships you build. Surrounding yourself with people who support and challenge you can help propel you toward your future goals. Take the time to nurture meaningful relationships with those who align with your values and vision. Build a network of mentors, colleagues, friends, and family who can provide guidance, encouragement, and new perspectives. A strong network can also provide accountability, inspiration, and opportunities that you might not have had access to otherwise. These relationships can make a significant difference in your long-term success and help you stay motivated when challenges arise. 8. Embrace the journey ahead finally, as you prepare for the future. Remember that discipline isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about enjoying the journey. While it's essential to have long-term goals and a clear vision, it's equally important to remain present and appreciate the process. Embrace the future with excitement, knowing that your disciplined approach to life will enable you to face whatever challenges come your way. The journey of growth and self-improvement is ongoing, and by preparing for the future with confidence, you set yourself up for a life of fulfillment, purpose, and success. Conclusion: preparing for the future with confidence is about more than just setting goals. It's about cultivating a mindset and habits that will carry you through any challenge. By embracing a growth mindset, setting clear goals, building resilience, prioritizing health, and staying adaptable, you equip yourself to face the future with unwavering discipline. Chapter 19. Maintaining momentum and consistency. As you continue on your journey of personal growth and discipline, one of the most significant challenges you'll face is maintaining momentum. It's easy to start with enthusiasm, but sustaining that energy and staying disciplined over the long term can be difficult. Success doesn't come from a single burst of effort. It's the result of consistent, focused action over time. In this chapter, we'll explore strategies for maintaining momentum, ensuring that you don't lose your drive even when the initial excitement fades. Consistency is the key to achieving lasting results. And by learning how to keep moving forward, even when progress feels slow, you will strengthen your discipline and ensure long-term success. 1. Embrace the power of habit. One of the most effective ways to maintain momentum is by turning your discipline into habit. When your desired actions become second nature, you don't have to rely on more willpower or motivation alone. Instead, the task is integrated into your daily routine, making it much easier to stay consistent. To turn discipline into habit, start small. Focus on building one habit at a time and ensure that it's achievable. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, begin by committing to just 10 minutes of exercise a day. Once that becomes a habit, gradually increase the duration or intensity. Consistency is crucial during this phase. The more often you practice your new habit, the more automatic it will become. Before long, you'll find that discipline doesn't feel like a chore. It's just a natural part of your day. 2. Set micro goals and celebrate small wins to keep your momentum going. Break down larger goals into smaller manageable tasks. When you achieve these micro goals, take a moment to celebrate your success. Recognizing and acknowledging small wins creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing your commitment and keeping you motivated. For example, if you're working toward a larger goal, such as writing a book or completing a major project, divide it into smaller milestones. Focus on achieving one step at a time, writing a chapter, completing a section, or reaching a word count goal. Each time you accomplish a micro goal, give yourself a small reward or acknowledgement, such as a short break or a sense of pride in your progress. These micro goals help you track your progress, which keeps your momentum high, even on days when the bigger picture seems overwhelming. 3. Develop a daily routine. Consistency thrives on routine. When you establish a daily structure, you ensure that there is no room for procrastination or distractions to take hold. A well-organized day allows you to integrate your disciplined actions seamlessly into your life, creating a sense of normalcy and making it easier to stay on track. Start by creating a morning routine that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Include activities that center you and prime you for success, such as exercise, meditation, reading, or journaling. Follow this by setting aside specific times for focused work or study, as well as for breaks and self-care. As you stick to this routine, you'll find that your momentum becomes self-sustaining. The structure of your day supports your discipline, making it easier to maintain consistency, even when motivation wanes. 4. Track your progress regularly to stay engaged and keep your momentum strong. It's helpful to track your progress consistently. Whether you keep a journal, use an app, or simply mark off completed tasks on a calendar, tracking provides a visible record of how far you've come. This helps reinforce the idea that your efforts are paying off and motivates you to keep going. Tracking also provides insight into patterns of productivity and areas where you might need improvement. For example, if you notice that your energy levels dip at certain times of the day, you can adjust your schedule to account for this and optimize your performance. By reviewing your progress regularly, you stay connected to your goals and can make adjustments to stay on track. 5. Push through the slumps. There will inevitably be days, or even weeks, when you don't feel as motivated or disciplined as usual. These slumps are natural and part of the process. What matters most is how you respond to them. Instead of giving up or letting the slump dictate your actions, push through it. Remind yourself of your why, the reasons behind your commitment to discipline, and focus on taking one small step at a time. Even if you can't give your best effort, do something, anything, to keep moving forward. When you push through the tough times, you prove to yourself that you are capable of continuing, even when it's difficult. Each time you power through a slump, you reinforce your discipline and develop greater resilience. 6. Find accountability partners. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to have someone to hold you accountable. An accountability partner is someone who supports you in your journey, checks in on your progress, and encourages you to stay on track. This could be a friend, family member, colleague, or mentor, someone who understands your goals and is committed to helping you achieve them. Regular check-ins and updates can help you stay focused and avoid slipping into procrastination. You can also join groups or communities that share your interests or goals. The support and camaraderie of others can help keep your momentum high as you work together towards similar objectives. 7. Stay flexible and adjust when needed. While consistency is essential, it's also important to stay flexible. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes unexpected circumstances may interfere with your plans. When this happens, don't be too hard on yourself. Instead, adjust your approach and continue moving forward. For example, if an illness or family emergency interrupts your routine, don't feel guilty. Instead, reevaluate your schedule and make adjustments that allow you to keep progressing while dealing with the situation at hand. The key is not to stop completely, but to remain adaptable in the face of challenges. Staying flexible ensures that you can maintain momentum in a way that's sustainable and manageable, even when life throws curveballs. 8. Reignite your motivation regularly over time. It's natural for your initial motivation to fade. To keep momentum alive, it's important to reignite your motivation regularly. This can be done by revisiting your goals, reflecting on the reasons why you started, and celebrating your successes. Another way to reignite motivation is by changing things up. If your routine feels stale or you're bored with your tasks, try something new. Switch up your environment, try a different method, or take on a new challenge to refresh your commitment. Sometimes, taking a break and coming back with renewed focus is all it takes to reignite your passion for the task at hand. 9. Create a long-term vision for your discipline to maintain momentum over the long term. Create a vision of what your life will look like once you've fully integrated discipline into your daily routine. This vision should be inspiring and motivating, reminding you of the ultimate rewards that come with sustained effort. Visualize the success, satisfaction, and fulfillment you'll experience by staying disciplined. Whether it's achieving a personal milestone, reaching a career goal, or experiencing a sense of peace and accomplishment, let that vision drive you. Having a long-term vision allows you to stay focused on the bigger picture, even when the daily grind becomes challenging. It serves as a reminder of the purpose behind your discipline, keeping you moving forward. Conclusion: maintaining momentum and consistency is not always easy, but it is the key to achieving long-term success. By creating habits, setting micro goals, tracking your progress, and pushing through the inevitable slumps, you ensure that your discipline becomes a natural part of your life. Remember that consistency isn't about perfection. It's about steady progress. By staying focused on your goals, remaining flexible when needed, and finding ways to reignite your motivation, you'll keep your momentum going strong. Chapter 20. Reflecting on your discipline journey. As you reach the final chapter of your discipline journey, it's important to pause and reflect on how far you've come. Growth doesn't just happen through action. It happens when we take the time to evaluate, learn from our experiences, and acknowledge the progress we've made. Reflection is a critical part of the process, as it not only reinforces the lessons you've learned, but also prepares you for future growth and challenges. This chapter will guide you through the process of reflection and help you recognize the changes that discipline has made in your life. By understanding your journey, you can gain valuable insights, strengthen your commitment to your goals, and pave the way for continued success. 1. Look back at your growth. Take a moment to think about where you started. Reflect on the person you were when you first began your journey to mastering discipline. What challenges did you face early on? What habits or mindsets did you need to overcome? Now consider how far you've come. What progress have you made? Perhaps you've achieved specific goals, developed healthier habits, or gained greater control over your time and energy. Reflecting on your growth allows you to acknowledge the hard work you've put in and gives you the motivation to keep moving forward. 2. Acknowledge your strengths and achievements. It's easy to focus on what still needs to be done, but it's essential to take time to acknowledge your strengths and achievements along the way. What are the key moments in your journey that stand out? When did you push through adversity or surprise yourself with your resilience? Recognize the skills and qualities that have helped you stay disciplined, whether it's your persistence, your ability to adapt, or your ability to stay focused on long-term goals. Celebrate these attributes and give yourself credit for how far you've come. 3. Identify areas for improvement. While acknowledging your successes is crucial, so is recognizing areas where you can still improve. Discipline is a lifelong process, and there will always be opportunities for growth. Ask yourself, what challenges still feel difficult? Are there certain habits or behaviors that you've struggled to maintain consistently? Reflect on these areas without judgment and use them as learning opportunities. Identifying weaknesses allows you to adjust your approach and refine your strategies moving forward. By understanding where you need to improve, you can develop a plan for strengthening those areas and maintaining the progress you've already made. 4. Celebrate the journey, not just the destination. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is defined solely by reaching your goals. However, true success comes from the journey itself. Every step you take, no matter how small, is an important part of your growth. Take time to appreciate the process, the daily decisions, the small wins, the moments of challenge that have shaped you. When you celebrate the journey, you acknowledge that every part of the process is valuable and contributes to your success. 5. Reassess your long-term goals as you reflect on your progress. It's a great time to reassess your long-term goals. Have your priorities shifted? Are the goals you set still in alignment with who you are becoming? Sometimes, as we grow and evolve, our goals evolve as well. Reevaluate where you want to go in the future. Have your aspirations changed or become more focused? Are there new goals that align with your current path? This reflection ensures that your future efforts are directed toward the things that matter most to you, keeping your discipline aligned with your vision for the future. 6. Reinforce your commitment to discipline. Reflection is also an opportunity to strengthen your commitment to discipline. Take a moment to remind yourself of why you started this journey. What motivates you to stay disciplined? Is it the desire for personal growth, the pursuit of specific goals, or the satisfaction of mastering a new skill? By reinforcing your commitment, you solidify the foundation of discipline in your life. Remind yourself that discipline is not a temporary phase, but a continuous journey. 7. Make a plan for the future with all the insights from your reflection. It's time to create a plan for the future. Use your new awareness of your strengths, weaknesses, and goals to craft a strategy for maintaining and growing your discipline. Moving forward, consider what new habits you'd like to implement, what areas of your life still require attention, and how you can continue progressing toward your long-term goals. Break down your plan into achievable steps and set realistic timelines for accomplishing them. This plan will serve as your roadmap for the future, ensuring that you continue to move forward with purpose and direction. 8. Keep a reflective practice. Reflection shouldn't be a one-time event. To truly integrate discipline into your life, it's important to regularly take the time to reflect on your progress, whether through journaling, meditation, or thoughtful introspection. Make reflection a consistent practice. By doing so, you stay connected to your goals, continuously refine your approach, and remind yourself of the growth you've experienced. Regular reflection keeps you aligned with your values and ensures that your discipline remains an active and evolving part of your life. 9. Share your journey with others. One of the most powerful ways, whether through mentorship, teaching, or simply talking about your experiences, sharing your journey can reinforce the lessons you've learned and inspire those around you. Sharing your discipline journey not only strengthens your own commitment, but it also allows you to connect with others who may be on similar paths. The act of teaching and inspiring others can provide a sense of fulfillment and encourage you to continue your growth. 10. Look ahead with confidence. As you reflect on your discipline journey, remember that you are laying the foundation for an even more successful future. The progress you've made is just the beginning. Every moment of reflection, every lesson learned, and every challenge overcome adds to your ability to stay disciplined and focused moving forward. The future is full of opportunities, and your discipline is the key to unlocking them. Look ahead with confidence, knowing that the habits and mindset you've developed will continue to serve you in the next phase of your journey.